Christy Clark says, it's a federal issue, I'm saying nothing. There's a lot of people in this province who say before next May, you and Ms. Clark and anyone else have to take a position on this. What is your position?
Well, my position, I guess, is to get to the issue really is the rationale for decriminalizing legitimate, and I think that there's a number of problems with the arguments that are put forward. Number one, if you want to take a look at the border and the free flow of goods across the border, which is necessary to the health of our economy, if British Columbia went alone and decriminalized marijuana, there's going to be a backlog at that border like crazy. The Americans are going to be checking everything and everybody that's crossing that border. They're not going to make the investment in infrastructure and personnel to ensure the free flow of Canadian goods into the U.S. and people. So that's one huge problem. The second issue that I really question is whether or not there's tax revenue available. If you look at liquor, you go down to the liquor store, there's umpteen shelves of various qualities of liquor. Each one of those takes a special talent and ingredients to build. And government can tax that because you can't make it. The guy next door can't simply make it. So it's easy for government to put a tax on it. The same can be said for cigarettes. You can grow tobacco in your backyard if you want, but when it comes to making a quality cigarette, that takes some talent. It takes, the special tobaccos and whatnot that you're probably not going to be able to grow here. So again, it's something that takes that talent. Government can tax it. Everything's fine. When it comes to marijuana, and I can't tell you this from experience, but the folks I talk to say anybody can grow quality marijuana in their basement or their bathroom or wherever they want to do it. It's not hard to do. So how do you tax that? You put a tax on marijuana, try to sell it at a government liquor store. The guys down the street are still going to be producing it, and they're going to be selling it tax-free. So you're not going to eliminate the gang problem and the illegitimate traffic in marijuana. It's simply not going to happen. So we need to look if you want to address that issue, we have to look at other avenues. The proposals that are out there just don't hold water.
Okay, respectfully, a lot of people look to prohibition and say that there are extreme parallels. I can still brew my own beer to you brew, or I can brew my own beer in my basement. And I can make liqueurs on my kitchen stove should I choose. But I choose not to because it's a whole lot easier to go to the government store to buy it. The belief is that if the price was appropriate, there's a lot of people that would go to the boutique inside the government liquor store and purchase pot as opposed to growing it in their basement. What do you do with the state of Washington? The belief is the state of Washington in the November presidential election is going to pass a proposition that in Washington is going to do exactly what we've just talked about.
Well, what I'm saying is that it's not a step that an individual government can take on its own. If you're going to move ahead on that, you have to move ahead in concert with not only with the other provinces in this country, but with our neighbors to the south. That seems to me the only way you're going to address it. But as I say, just simply British Columbia moving ahead on it isn't going to change the things. If you think you're going to be a huge tax windfall on it, I think you better think again, because I just don't think it follows.
Do you believe that making some sort of, and this is the last time because I don't want to waste, do you believe or feel that by making a statement of either commitment or rejection, as opposed to something that's nebulous, that it would cost you votes in the election, or do you believe that it would be a definitive policy that seemingly the polls would suggest a majority of British Columbians would adopt?
Well, certainly it's an issue that's out there. It's an issue of great concern to British Columbians. What I'm trying to say is that there's huge problems with the proposals that are out there. The rationale justifying it doesn't hold water. I think that what we need to do, if we have to look at it from the various perspectives, from the health issues and so on, and crime prevention issues, and the relationship with other provinces. It's not something that I can give you a definitive answer on today, but it's certainly something that we're open to discussing.
All right. Ernie, stand by. I need to take a break. Mr.